Today we're going to learn how to use multiband compressor in your tracks. We will be applying the stock compressor we have in Logic and I'll be explaining through that. And if you're new here, I'm Florina Jain, otherwise known as Flow of Music. And if you like music production related videos, don't forget to subscribe. I have these 4 tracks: piano, bass, pads and strings, and it sounds like this. So right away you can see that this has a lot of mid-frequency energy and it sounds a little dull in the mid-frequency because there are a lot of stuff that's clashing and I'm not getting the right quality out of it. So let's add a multi-band compression. So I'm going to add that on the stereo out. So on audio effects, dynamics, and then we have multipressor. So this is what we have. To understand this plugin, you need to know how a compressor works. But this video is not titled as compressor, it's multiband compressor. So if you don't know what or how a basic compressor works, I've linked a video in the screen, you can check that out. So basically, multiband compressor can divide the whole audio into different frequency sets: lows, low mids, high mids and highs, and you can selectively compress those frequency ranges. A normal compressor doesn't do that. A normal compressor just compresses the entire track irrespective of lows or mids or highs. The overall track gets compressed. But a multiband compressor can compress a definite frequency range. So let's say in this particular section, we heard that the low mids and high mids were a little clumsy and they even were a little loud and it was not really nice on the ear. So if you want to only focus on compressing that, then multiband compressor is what you go for. In Logic compressor, you have 4 bands that you can divide into. I'll turn them all off. So right now it's empty. If you select 1, that means it's acting like a normal compressor. You're just going to compress the entire frequency range. If you select 2, it will automatically divide it like this, 3 and 4. So you have the frequency sets written down, 20 Hz till somewhat around 160 Hz, and then the next is till 1100 Hz. Another one is 7.5 kilohertz, and then the last one goes till 20K. So you can probably keep this as lows, low mids, high mids and highs. Now my priority is to focus on this low mid specifically because I feel like it's a little loud in this section. So these are the knobs you work with a compressor: threshold, ratio, attack, release and makeup knob. Those are the most important ones. I'm not going to talk about how to use an attack or release because you will know it if you know how a compressor works. By the way, if you are looking for a systematic way to understand all these fundamentals of a basic compressor or EQ and all that, I recently released a pre-recorded course on music mixing which focuses on these fundamental concepts in mixing. So if you want to check that out, there's a 30% discount that I've put up and the link is below in the description. So don't forget to look at that, and if you think you need that, you can just purchase using the link below. If you are strong on your fundamentals, all these advanced concepts will be a little easier and you'll be able to understand it a lot better. So let's solo only this low mid area. Now basically you're hearing only the frequencies between 160 to 1100 Hz. Let's listen to this. So this is what I want to tame right now. So I have this small triangle you see over here. So that is actually the threshold. See, if I move this, that triangle also moves. So that's similar to the threshold you keep in your compressor. So that's how much of signal that goes above the threshold, and that's what the compressor will work on. And this is obviously ratio. So I'm just going to put ratio probably 3 or something, and I'm just going to pull this down. Now I don't want any compression happening over here. I'm just putting it back a little higher. Have a look at this particular section in this plugin. So you notice that blue line coming down and going up. That means there was a signal going above the threshold that we set. Therefore, it's compressing it. That's what's happening. Now, I'm going to make an exaggerated change. You clearly hear that volume going down and up every time there's a very loud note playing. So I'm just going to keep it in this place, but I'm going to push my attack a little softly, meaning I'm going to put the time a little higher. That means like when you want the compressor to actually compress your track, I don't want it to compress immediately because I'm losing it out on the transients of those piano. So I'm just going to put it a little higher and release as well a little higher. This is without it, so I'm bypassing it. See, it clearly brought down that volume. Let's play it one more time. This is without the plugin. So I just want to add that makeup knob as well. So makeup knob is just making sure that the compression that happens doesn't affect the overall volume of the track. I don't want to lose the overall volume just so that I can preserve the dynamics. So I'm just bringing the whole track up so that it doesn't sound weird. But in this plugin, I'm not bringing the whole track. I'm focusing on this area once again. So after compression has been, applied in that frequency range overall volume is just brought back up again. I'm not bringing the dynamics up again. I'm just bringing the full volume of that frequency range up again. So now the sound is a little bit more controlled. I'm able to control only the frequencies that feel like there's a lot more work that has to be done on them. This is useful when you put it on groups, especially like a drum group or the final stereo, just to make sure those frequencies are not loose and they are just tight enough and they don't differ a lot in terms of dynamics. So there are a lot of third-party plugins that also do this. Like for example, FabFilter has a multi-band compressor. Some third-party plugins can apply more than 4 bands. So right now we were only able to divide it into 4 sections. Some plugins can make it divide into more than 4 sections. So that might give you a lot more flexibility and accuracy. You can properly select the region and you can do it as well. So this is the working of multiband compressor. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments and I'll help you out. Once again, if you want to purchase that mixing course that I have recently released, don't forget to check the link in my description to get a 30% discount on that. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video and I'll see you guys in the next one.